One of the girls working in the gift shop came around the corner and snapped a picture and there she was. You can see the speakers in there. Alright, this is where the world's longest poker game was played. It lasted 8 years, 5 months, and 3 days. You had players like Matt Masterson, Diamond Jim Brady, Adolphus Bush, the owner of Budweiser, and Randolph Hearst of the Hearst fortune. The game was ran by a guy named Dick Clark. He had tuberculosis. He came here for the better doctors, drier climate, to make a buck or two. He was definitely the guy to beat. There was a $1,000 buy-in to this game, which is about $30,000 in today's money. The house, of course, got 10%. And in that 8 years, over $10 million crossed that table.
Damn.
They didn't even finish the floor because that game started. I thought it was because everybody chewed tobacco. The figure. But remember I said it looks like everybody literally said, guys, let's go home, and that's what they did? This is how they found that table in 1934 when they came back. The chair represents somebody folding or leaving the game. That game is actually in the Guinness Book of World Records. I can talk, I swear. It's in the Guinness Book of World Records. It would suck to play a game that long and nobody wins. And anybody down on your luck tonight, now's your chance. They throw the money on the table for good luck. Or the owner says, so that they can say they were a part of that game. I go for good luck. Because I threw a couple bucks up there one night, and bought a lottery ticket and won $50. And I keep forgetting my dollars because, you know, they don't make pockets in these things. And I ain't won nothing since, so that's what I go with. But either way, either idea is cool.
Was Doc Holliday ever here?
Yes, he was in this game. And that was his Pharaoh too. Oh my God, I forgot to tell you, I'm going to find his Pharaoh. The puppy dog flashing continuously. But yes, that is Doc Holliday's Pharaoh table up here in the corner where the rim pot's sitting. And I'll show you the famous handkerchief duel between Doc Holliday and Johnny Ringo when we go back to school. But all these bottles were found down here. Some of them still have liquor in them. Underneath the stage, you have untapped whiskey barrels. I keep telling them they need to let me find out. It's for a good cause. It's either really good stuff or just find out. And if you look, right, it would be. I think we should. Right? Look at that. Right? I got some Vaseline in it. Probably wouldn't even need it. Probably fit right over the top.
Is there usually a figure down in the euros?
What else is in there? Is there another one?
There was one.
By the trunk. Look in the trunk. What's near the trunk?
All the bottles.
I always want to know what's in the trunk. My boss, she's like, you're nosy.
That's where the child came from.
I'm like, no, if you're not, you don't want to, what's in the box? She could have silver bars down there. We were in a silver boom town. So she could have a fortune in those. But if you look all the way to your left, you're going to find birdcages. And if you look at those tracks right in front of you, you're going to find a grenade from World War II. And a second one on the box to your right. Like I say, I just want to know what's in the trunk. This door was the bathing room. Yep. And these two bordello rooms, they were for the high rollers, so they didn't have to go far. Instead of $25 a night, they were $40. And sometimes you can catch a man with a long white beard in this one. Can you find the bed in there? It's one of your first Murphy beds. It's that wardrobe.
Oh, wow.
And this one was occupied by Josephine Marcus, or Sadie Joe. Her license to practice prostitution is hanging in the frame by the door. Tombstone in the 1880s, there were over 3,400 licenses to practice prostitution issued here. I just want to know what the final test was.
Is that from below?
I think that's the screw.
Oh, screw.
Hold this shut.
Okay.
Because they're screwed shut. And hold on to your camera if you put it through there, because they will knock it out of your hand. And that is, again, above my pay grade. Tombstone was only 18 blocks long, and they had 106 saloons here. So definitely no shortage of women or whiskey. And your nude photo of Sadie Joe, that was meant for Sheriff Behan, because that's who she moved here to be with, but it didn't surface until after Wyatt Earp died. She was so distraught over his death, she didn't even attend the funeral. My husband would haunt me for sure. In here is the document room. There's a lot of faces of the ladies that used to work here. A lot of faces to the names you've heard around town. A lot of cool stuff. Tombstone had a huge Chinese population. It was ran by China Mary. She also controlled the underground opium dens. And your bullet hole in the bar was meant for that lady in the burgundy frame. That is Miss Minnie, or Big Minnie as they called her. She was almost 6 foot tall, which is unheard of back then. And she was 230 pounds of pure lusciousness and a pink tutu. She was also the bouncer. But she threw a guy out, and I guess ashamed to be thrown out by a woman, he turned and fired. It was also a bad shot he missed. You have Madame Moustache in the corner. I heard she really did have a mustache. But she controlled the French ladies. And here in the double frame, you've got Billy Milgreen and Gold Dollar. Gold Dollar murdered Margarita here. Margarita had the hots for her man. She told her that if she did not leave him alone, she was going to cut out her heart. Well, she went on break at the Crystal, came down here, and sure enough, Margarita was sitting in his lap. So she grabbed a dagger from her garter and stabbed her to death. Somebody yelled that Marshall was coming. Her and Billy fled out the back door. They never seen them again. Probably Mexico, more than likely. But it took them 100 years to find the murder weapon. They were doing excavating by where the outhouses were, because, you know, that's where you find you get shit. And that's where they found the murder weapon used to kill her. Today it's locked in a safe. Do you know why they called Big Nose Kate Big Nose Kate?
She had big nose.
She had the sucker stuck in everybody's business.
Ah, Sean, you were right.
She was nosy.
Nosy, okay.
Now, does she not look like Mila Kunis?
Oh my
Oh,
God,
yeah.
she does.
Then you have Patrick Swayze in drag down there on the end, Miss Birdie Wood.
I mean,
Does it not look like Patrick Swayze?
Oh God.
Every time I go through, I see him.
I'm not arguing that fact. But yeah, she's stunningly
She
like
is dead on.
Charlotte and Lopez.
Yeah, they have to be related.
Well, Mila Kunis is Russian.
Yeah.
And she's Lopez, so you would think,
Well, right? Lopez is not
not
Russian.
Russian. She's probably native to the region.
She's very pretty though.
Yeah, very, very similar, very pretty.
And then, of course,
Actually,
she was from Budapest.
In there, yeah.
And it's funny how they get here. I mean, I didn't know that was an option. To just go travel, just to go overseas. You have Irish Mag. And let's see what. Like, she controlled the French ladies, and then you have China Mary. She
Yeah, what's
controlled.
the China Mary story? I forget.
There was a huge Chinese population
That's
here.
right.
It was around 3rd Street, where I live. And
Isn't it the China bed and breakfast?
yes,
Okay.
yes. And you could have anything to do with a Chinaman or woman without her consent. She also controlled the underground opium dens. She's also in Boot Hill Cemetery. But see, the whole thing, and I don't understand how she's there or why she's there. Because when the China was like 100 years passed away, they were supposed to be, they're both supposed to be. But after I did it, she was crazy. Because she would only give her girls 5%, which that's what they gave them here, or $5, because the men would cash